Apple recently did something that is arguably illegal. In fact, they're being sued right now over the very same practices. This time, the change is so minor and the people it impacts so ill-equipped to fight back, there probably won't be a lawsuit for quite some time. So what are these practices and what can we do about them? Epic Games, creators of Fortnite and Unreal Engine, are currently in a knockdown, drag-out legal battle to the death with Apple over their policy on third-party app stores. Apple takes a 30% cut on all in-app purchases made from anyone using an app from their app store. In order to circumvent the tax, Epic Games wanted to create their own third-party app store so that they could generate more revenue for Fortnite on iOS, but Apple shut this down and refuses to budge. Epic is therefore accusing Apple of engaging in anti-competitive behavior in order to force them to use their in-app purchasing system. For the initial ruling, the US government also believed that the lower court misapplied the rule of reason and erred in how it analyzed monopoly power. For example, Apple was able to set prices and keep them there regardless of what its competition did. And, as Microsoft explained, that's something only a monopolist can do. 30% of every purchase in a video game is a huge amount of revenue lost for Epic Games, and Fortnite on iOS had a very large amount of players until it was removed from the App Store in August 2020 over this dispute. I can easily see why Epic was willing to go to war here with Apple, but thus far they've been unsuccessful against the trillion-dollar Goliath. They aren't throwing in the towel just yet, though, and hopefully it comes to a better resolution for them. Epic Games was unhappy with that decision, of course, as it had wanted the court to force Apple to support third-party payments and/or third-party app stores, which would have allowed Fortnite to maximize its revenues. Meanwhile, Apple didn't want to agree to the court's order that said it would have to permit apps that provide links to alternative payments. So really nobody won in this instance. Clearly, Apple hasn't learned anything from this lawsuit, however, because they're doing the exact same thing to a new group. This time, though, there's no real path forward for compliance, and the group affected will be very hard-pressed to mount a legal defense in the same way that Epic Games did. A few months ago, Apple added the following to their developer guidelines. Apps may use in-app purchases to sell and sell services related to NFTs, such as minting, listing, and transferring. Apps may allow users to view their own NFTs provided that NFT ownership does not unlock features or functionality within the app. Apps may allow users to browse NFT collections owned by others provided that the apps do not include buttons, external links, or other calls to action that direct customers to purchasing mechanisms other than in-app purchases. So yes, of all things, Apple is targeting NFTs to ensure that they're a part of their 30% tax. Unless you simply want to look at your JPEG, then you're going to have to cough up some dough to Uncle Cook. Not to mention, some of these asks are just currently impossible from an implementation perspective. While it's theoretically possible to ask users to take a 30% cut while they're trading with each other on a secondary marketplace, that's also absolutely insane. This is like asking people on eBay to pay a 30% tax to Apple for using the eBay app on their iPhone. eBay as a company would have to create the technology to enforce this and then push all of their payments through the in-app purchasing system. Even if a company wanted to comply with this, they would actively lose out on tons of sales due to the huge price increase being passed on to the user. As if that wasn't bad enough, they're also taxing transfers and other blockchain activity like minting. These transactions cost a gas fee to execute, meaning that they have to spend some kind of cryptocurrency in order to actually validate the transaction on chain. Crypto acts like a sort of fuel that allows anyone to interact with and pay the fees necessary to make the network operate. My personal opinion is that Apple has created these guidelines that no one can really abide by in order to buy them time. Time for what is anyone's guess, but I figure that this is in order to allow them to come up with an in-house solution or to let this fad die on the vine. The crypto space in general has suffered a massive blow in the last year, and public opinion of it is extremely low as well. Apple probably thinks that they can get away with this because the cryptocurrency space is decentralized in nature, meaning that no one entity could mount a legal defense. And at a time when the entire crypto market cap is less than that of Apple's, they've probably got a good chance of beating any defense that came up anyway. So what can be done about this problem? If you've been enjoying my brutally honest dissection of this issue, then make sure to check out my online Discord community, Web Freedom. You'll have direct access to myself and a group of individuals determined to find financial freedom. We talk about Web3, finance, gaming, girls, all sorts of fun things, and you'll get exclusive content like my guide to speculation. I'll leave a link in the description below. I hope to see you there. Well, the easiest fix overall would be for Epic Games to win this lawsuit and force Apple to allow third-party app stores or payment systems. Then each blockchain could open up their own app store or payment system or however we want to handle that, but making sure that we're not getting unfairly taxed for transactions. While this is already slated to happen to some degree based on European Union rulings on the matter, there's little to no indication that this will happen outside of the EU, so for Americans like myself, we're going to need some kind of miracle. Every bit helps though, which is why I made this video in the first place. If we can spread awareness about these bad practices, public appeal will put pressure on Apple even if they manage to win again in court. And if there's enough backlash, they might take down these guidelines without a legal battle, which would be the best case scenario. So make sure to do your part and share this video with a friend or talk your significant other's ear off about the topic. Or even your parents. I bore my mom all the time with this stuff and she loves it. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.